Welcome to Will It Work? I am Kevin. Today we're going to look at the Tron Retro Station. This is basically I believe it's a Capcom system. It's pretty new. I believe it came out in 2021. May have come out in 2020. I think it came out in 2021. It's a arcade type system that plays all of the old Capcom games. It comes in this big box, and it is sealed, but I'm going to open it in this case because I'm a little less concerned about retro units holding their value being unopened. So let's take a look at it. You just don't know, like, I already have like a Capcom arcade board, and you just don't know if like these classic systems like this, how many of these things are they going to come out with, we've got a lot of different premium systems, but it just seems like they could be coming out with one of these every year, different form factors, etc. So, will there ever be somebody who wants to collect old, stuff like this? It's kind of like the SNK problem. Like, there's so much. I like how the manual's all just smooshed in there and stuff. Like, they're just like, here's the manual. You just crammed it into the box. Maybe. I mean, it just sort of depends on where a lot of this retro stuff is going. It's kind of a new thing in gaming, where we've gotten a lot of like really nice retro systems, as well as a whole lot of junk. And in 10, 20, 30 years, are some of these retro systems going to be sought after, or not? And this might be one that is. Why is this? Oh, I see. But there's going to be a whole lot of them that people are just not going to want, probably because like they'll be junky, not good emulation. That's the problem. It could be. So we will leave the plastic on the screen. We have a nice little. Let me zoom out a little bit and fix this camera location up. It's all kind of gimped up right now. I can't zoom out anymore. I can go higher, I guess. So it has like. Looks like we've got a clicky joystick. Feels pretty good. We've got some arcade style buttons, but these aren't curved in, they're more popped out. That's not normal for arcade. Also, these rings are kind of thin, which you wouldn't see in the arcade either, because they would probably snap and break. We also have the power down here and a volume switch. And I don't think these do anything. Maybe they light up or something, but they don't seem to have any purpose. There is a... Oop. Looks like you can add a controller here. USB. Did not come with one. Same on that side, so you could have 1 and 2 player, so you can play 2-player games. On the back we've got an HDMI, sound and power. Okay, so it's probably just an emulation station of some sort. Gonna come all down, I suppose, to what kind of emulator they used. I think what's gonna end up happening, in my opinion, is that a lot of these clone systems, the ones that use FPGA that to perfectly copy or clone the hardware are going to be the systems that will be wanted by collectors, because they will offer the perfect emulation layer, let's say, even though it's not really emulating at that point, of the hardware. And where these ones that are doing software emulation, not all software emulation is bad by any means, but if it's not true to the initial design because of performance reasons, then I think it'll be less desired. Especially as we keep going forward, you know, technology gets better, computers get faster and cheaper. You know, in another 5 years they could come out with another one of these with a better processor in it, and it'll just have an all better experience. So we can tilt this up, which is kind of nice. It doesn't move left or right though. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Let me lower the camera though so you can get a better view in here. Go. I'm going to shut off the top light. Go. It's going to be dark, but once the screen comes on, hopefully you'll be able to see everything better. But here we go. And we're going to do English, which is nice to see. And A. No. Start maybe. B A R Y. Okay, Y. I guess Y is the select button. That's not boding well for the rest of this. We got Street Fighter 2, of course. Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, Super Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Mega Man The Power Battle, Mega Man 2 The Power Fighters, Mega Man X, Mega Man Soccer, Mega Man and Bass or Bass. That's it. That's it. That's all there is. That's all there is. My God. It's kind of crazy. Let's see here. Language, game, image, brightness, system. So it looks like there may be a way to upgrade it. Although I didn't see an SD card thing on here. So I'll have to look that up. Because sometimes, you know, you get these things early, and then they release more games for it later, etc. Well, let's take a look at standard Street Fighter. Let's just see how that looks. This game is for use in the United States of America, Canada, and Mexico only. So if I play this in Japanese mode, am I going to get different games? That's loud. Let's real quick, let's just see how loud this thing gets. It's pretty loud. Probably one of the loudest almost portable systems I've heard. It's weird when we have two speakers here and here, so it probably is in stereo. And the screen looks really good. I will say that it's a nice size screen. It's got some good. It's got good color. Yeah, I think it looks nice. I'm sure I could find a YouTube video out there, somebody that's going to complain about it. But I think it looks alright. Maybe you can use those one-player port or two-player USB ports, put a USB slot in there and put in a game or a memory thing in it to expand it. But yeah, sometimes you can upgrade them. Done that with a number of these. In fact, or you go online and they let you download stuff. Did I turn it off? My bad. Alright, so let's look at Super Street Fighter 2. Yeah, but I'm wondering, it's like, if I play this in Japanese, would it still give me that a warning about only playing it in the United States, or would it give me a Japanese warning? Built-in 10 games, built-in, that's what it says. It wasn't cheap. I mean, you know, didn't cost like $500 or anything like some classic systems do, but it wasn't cheap. 10 games. You would think they could expand it a little bit. Chun-Li's gonna whip my ass. I haven't played this in forever. I don't remember that Chun-Li was able to do that in the original Street Fighter 2. I think the original Street Fighter 2 just had some deficiencies in the sense of if you weren't able to shoot something, you would have a hard time defending yourself against the guys that could, because you would have to leap over it and or block it and take damage constantly, and it gave them an advantage as you jump towards them that they could then get a cheap hit in. It was kind of like if you played Guile, it was pretty hard to get around his whole super kick. Ooh, she's gonna kill me here. I can't remember how to do any supers or anything. Oh, having a bad day. Well, it's okay. I mean, I'm not having too many problems with it. I don't remember my moves, but it's not laggy. I'm not noticing any graphical... Jeez, she's just whipped. She's already taken like half my health. Okay, so we take a look at the, should we look at a Mega Man game? I guess since we should be completists, everybody, and we should just look at one. Let's see if we can get back to the main. Yeah, let's hit exit. Let's look at Mega Man X. Was Mega Man in the arcade? Or was it just like a NES, Super NES kind of thing? I don't ever remember seeing it in the arcade, but it doesn't mean anything. Like, the arcades I went to, maybe they just didn't have a company that carried, like, the Mega Man franchise or something. Yeah, the fact that I didn't have to insert quarters is telling me this was not an arcade game. Bullshit. pick that up? Or is that going to explode? Alright. I am Mega Man. I know these games are like supposed to be like notoriously really difficult or something. And there's like a bunch of them. It's like, yeah, it's 2 buttons. It's like a NES port of some sort, I think, with 2 buttons. Oh, I can't get it. What the hell? Oh, do I gotta climb up or something? Because I am Mega Man. Oh, I died. Okay, well, that's the Tron Retro Station. I think I probably will go online just to see if there's anything about having more than one kind of, you know, the 10 games that it's packed in with. But, you know, it's cute. If you're into, like, fighters and stuff, I mean, it's pretty cool. I think they do sell, like, another control stick that's arcade-like this is here, that's USB. Of course, being USB and being generic emulator, I bet you could probably connect any old fight stick to this and it would probably work fine. You know, and it has a selection of Street Fighter and Mega Man games. You know, it's one of those things, like, you know, these are like the kind of systems where, like, I would, like, if I didn't care about collecting it, which I'm not sure you should, like, because there is no collector's market for these kinds of things. But if you owned one, you know, and you were having like a party and people were coming over, this is like a cool unit to put out, you know, and just kind of like have it there for people to kind of, like, if somebody's, you know, just chilling at the coffee table, or if you happen to have a bar in your basement, like in the man cave or something, they could just turn this on and, you know, play it in the corner or something. Or, you know, if there was another, if you had another controller, you purchased it, you know, people could do some versus stuff, that kind of thing. Like, I think that's kind of neat, you know, the fact that it's sort of standalone. It's not going to interrupt, like, the main TV if you're watching the game or something. And it's just kind of there, so you could, like, you know, people could just, you know, drop in, play some games on it or something. And it's sturdy enough that it'll hold up and makes enough sense that somebody could use it fairly easily. So with that in mind, you know, it has a sort of a niche there, because you could, like, sit there and say, yeah, I can play these games on my PC or my Apple, or not my Apple, but my Raspberry Pi, you know, and you can, right? You know, you probably have some regular joystick gamepad connected to your Raspberry Pi that you've got plugged into a monitor somewhere or something. But that's all just kind of like, that's good for you, but it's not always good for guests. It's too, you know, it's too weird for them. Like, if they saw something like this sitting out, they'd feel comfortable enough turning it on and playing it, etc. No one wants to touch your Raspberry Pi or whatever, because they're afraid they're going to do something to it to screw it up, etc. And a lot of times when, you know, you have things like that, they tend to be in some kind of Frankensteinian configuration. You didn't put the Raspberry Pi in the case. You know, it has to be paired with the controller that you don't have handy right now, because you've got it like an 8-bit DOE connected to something else somewhere. And you know what I'm saying. It's just not the same sort of ease of entry. But it might not matter to you. You might not have guests over or whatever. I'm just saying this is kind of like a niche thing. I mean, I have various clone systems and PCs and things too that I can run games on. I think things like this are a little bit more niche towards yeah, gamers that you know, just want to pick up and play or something. Or it could also be fun for the kid, you know, if you wanted to do some nostalgia thing with the kid and, you know, play an old school game with them. Something like this is a little bit more interesting than that conglomeration that you might have come up with to make it with the Raspberry Pi, or, you know, an old PC or something. But don't get me wrong, like, if you want to solo play on a Raspberry Pi, that's great. I mean, those things are awesome. and you know, you can get a lot of power out of the Pi 4 in order to play some really great games on it. But yeah, anyway, I don't have market share with the Retro Station. I don't care. It's probably only going to be released in Japan anyway. It's not something that's probably going to come out here unless it's like in a, you know, a limited run kind of thing. Yeah, I would think they, you know, with the nice monitor and all this sort of stuff, it'd be a nice system to hack and put a lot more games on it, because then it would be really kind of cool to have a sort of a system like this sitting around with a ton of games on it that you can just turn on with its own monitor. It's a pretty good screen and joystick combo on there, and it's a shame they only put 10 games on it, but you'll have that. Anyway, sorry for just staring at my carpet for so long. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back again next time, which will probably be tomorrow, and we'll have something new for you. Take it easy.